is the current market and the company's services. Are they going to pay you fairly compared to other companies? And how is the market looking for that job? Is that a stable career path? Is that a stable job? And you want to make sure that if they are going to pay you top dollar, are they expecting you to work twice as much as other companies that maybe not to pay you as well? Or are you going to get paid more over here for less work? You want to compare because you want to make sure that you're stepping in there, not wasting your time, the interview time, or anyone else's time. Make sure that you have a good footing before you begin. Something else to consider is, where is that company located? Are you going to have to relocate? If so, are they going to help you with that? And something else to consider is, if you do have to move, what is the cost of living of that town? Are there housing available, apartments, things like that? Is there benefits to leaving? Are you leaving a support system, your family? Is that going to be a pro, or is that going to work against you? And is that job worth leaving what you have now? That's something to really consider. And what are the current trends? Why would that be important to know, the current trends of the company? Okay. Are they struggling? So are you going to be walking into a job or career that is already struggling? Are you going to go in with your feet running to try to help them save the company? Is it going to be around for 5 or 10 years? Is this something that you can stay in long term? That's something to consider. If you want to stay somewhere long term, how are they looking? And does it share your values? You want to be proud of where you work, and you want to proudly say, I work for this company because it fits your value. Now, if it's something that you're going to have to compromise yourself and what you believe in, do you want to even consider taking that job or that interview? Because again, you want to make sure that before you even step into that interview, you're not wasting your time or the company's time or anyone's time. You want to have a footing. But also through this research, it will really help you in the interview to make sure you put yourself apart a little bit. There's lots of more that you could be researching, but that's kind of the gist of it. Now the resume building. If you're like me, I hate resumes. I never know what to put for my skills. Having to type that out and make it sound professional, and I hated that. So we have a really cool tool that's called Career Coach. It's free to you. It's on our website. Has anyone actually looked at Career Coach before? No? Okay, let's sit down for this. Maybe do that. But so on our Southlands College website, you're going to scroll down to where it says find your career. This little relevant guy. You're going to sign in or sign up. I do recommend that whenever you sign up, you use a personal email, because whenever you're gone from SBC, I think in 2 years, they delete your email and you have to re-sign up. So that way you don't lose what you're already doing. Go ahead and create it using your personal email. Check your guest one. There it goes. Okay. So one of the first things that you're going to see whenever you log in is an interest test. So this is going to take you to a career assessment, if you will. So you're going to answer some basic questions and then follow along to see kind of where it is that you fall. So I've already created one and answered the few questions it has. And my top match is visual arts. So what's cool about this is you can go ahead and click on, let's say, graphic design. You click on that, and it's going to show you actual career details. So in this area, within a just a 20-mile radius of Levelland, the median salary is $39,238. There's currently 17 job openings. So if you want to change that, say you want to move to Dallas, You can just drag on this little guy and move it, and it will show you exactly where you want to be and how many job postings you're going to get. You can also see what's required. So typically, it's either an associate of applied science or certificates. It gives you live postings as well. So you can actually go in, click on the job, and apply automatically right through Career Coach. So that's super cool. But the best feature that we're going to be talking about today is the resume builder. So this kind of takes a lot of the work out of it. So when you first open it up, it says my resume. So we want to change that to simply your name. I'm going to hit save. Should you only have one resume and use that one resume for everything? Good, very good. No, so you want to have multiple that are more fitted towards the jobs that you're applying for. So that might mean editing your resume more than once, having a couple saved, things like that. I do want to make absolutely sure that you don't send a resume to UMC that you sent to Southlands College and have it named Durham resume. You want to make sure that you label it correctly so that you don't send the wrong thing. And then from there, you're going to scroll down and you're going to edit your contact information. So you're going to add in your email, your address, city, state, zip. So I'm just putting something in. Okay, so then we're going to save and close. Okay, so now this is the cool part. So the work experience. What is a job that we've all had? Maybe all of us. Has anyone been a waitress?
Fast food.
Fast food, absolutely. Okay, so you type in fast food and you click on this. This gives you the tasks already there. So you don't have to go through typing in a Word document, trying to make yourself sound good that I swept the floor and I mopped the floor. What else did you do? This is already coming up with some ideas. So did we take orders and delivery supplies? Yes. Was anyone the cook? Okay. We'll operate large volume of cooking equipment such as grills, fryers, things like that. Let's say that we did that. Prepared foods, show more. Wash, cut, prepare, clean food. Okay, so we're just gonna add a couple of these. So let's say please. So let's say we did that at Starbucks. I know they don't have fast food, but we're gonna go ahead and go with that. And so we did that here in Levellands. We started on, say, June of 22, and we currently work here. Okay, so now we are going to save that. And we're going to add another job. What's another job someone else has had? Okay, what's anyone else besides working at a restaurant or anything like that? City worker, what'd you do? Okay. The shop hand. Okay. So let's see if it's on.
Making shop, not should be.
What kind of shop?
It was an automotive.
Okay. Automotive. Body and repair related. Yeah. Okay, so let's just click on this, and you can change the name of it. So let's say you are in auto repair, automotive repair. So let's say you don't want to have all that, just delete. And that's our title. Okay, so what did you do as a shop hand? Did you file, grind, sand, smooth, any of that? Okay. Inspect vehicles. Perfect. Weld replacement.
I welded a little bit.
Great. So you see how it already has some of these already listed, so that again, you're not having to go through and manually type even everything in people. How do I make this sound professional, or how do I make this sound great? It's already there. So let's say, I don't know, it's Chevy House. And then, 21 through December 24. Okay, so now we're gonna save this. So now we have our 2 careers that we did. And we keep on going. Education history. This is where we add our education. So it is completely up to you whether or not you want to add your high school or not. Because you are more than you're going to have high school a year, I'd probably go ahead and add it. Now, whenever you get bachelor's, master's, things like that, you might consider taking it off. But you're just going to basically add in that high school name, the degree. So if it's just high school, you put high school. Major, you're not going to have one. Your GPA, if it's high enough. Now, you don't want to put you at a 2.0 GPA and put that on your resume and be proud of that. Yes, you graduated, that's great, but unless it's like a 3.5 or above, go ahead and use that blank. Because more than likely, employers don't care what your GPA was. They care that you had that degree and that you graduated. Right? Add in the city, state, all of that information, when you started, when you ended. Typically, school starts in August and May. You kind of guess your days. They're not going to go back and look, oh, did you graduate in June instead of May? They're not going to look at that. Just kind of guess at it. Make sure the years are correct. Don't lie, obviously, on anything that you do. Don't lie. That's kind of the main thing. All right, now let's talk about skills. Can someone give me an example of a soft skill? Does anyone know what a soft skill is? Or let's start with hard skills. Hard skills?
By yourself.
Okay, so hard skill is a technical skill or knowledge that you have gained through education or experience. Okay, so this is gonna be something like graphic design. Okay, computer skills.
So that would be like Excel and PowerPoint.
Yeah, let's pick up on. Okay, Excel formulas, Excel services, Microsoft Excel. And then, does anyone speak another language? Okay, what do you speak?
Chinese.
Okay, so we have, let's say, Spanish, let's add that one. You can do bilingual, then you can edit that as well. Okay. Be prepared that if someone says, oh, you speak Spanish, are you willing to use it?
Yeah.
Are you? Don't put it on there if you're not willing to use it, because some people don't want to. They don't want to speak Spanish at their job if they're not going to get compensated for it or something like that. Do you have skills in Excel? Can you prove it? Can you show it? Because they might put you to the test. Okay, great. Tell me a little bit about this. Can you answer those questions? Do not lie on that, because again, you're going to have to show for it. Right, soft skills. What's a soft skill?
Problem solving.
Okay, yeah. So a soft skill is an interpersonal skill through personal behaviors and attributes that enable individuals to interact with their management, colleagues, and clients. So this is going to be something like problem solving and communication. And time management. This is a big one because let's say you put time management on your resume. I'm a hard worker, I show up on time. Well, now you show up 5 minutes late. Do you have time management skills? You've just lied on your resume. Don't put it on there unless you are sure that you are 10 minutes early, ready to go every single day. Okay, just one, Matt. What happens at some classes if you're 2 minutes late? Here. I know when I was going, they'd shut the door and you weren't allowed in, even if it was a minute or two, just once. It matters. Now, if you built up that rapport of, you're on time, you're early every time, and you get a flat tire, your kid gets sick, I had a meltdown this morning and I was really late. Those things are more acceptable to employers whenever you show that you are dependable 99.9% of the time. But again, you don't want to put that on your resume if you can't show up on time. Because that's something that they're going to say, okay, he's confident enough that he put that on his resume, he'll be here on time. Things to consider. Does anyone have any questions on this so far? Okay, so now then we're just gonna save and close. All right, and then the last section on here is going to be personal links. So this could be your LinkedIn, if you have a website, anything like that that you want to add, you can do that as well. So now that we're done, we're gonna go up here to the top and we are going to download it. Ta-da, we have our resume. It puts it in there professionally, spacing is right, everything looks good. How long of a resume do you want to have?
Page long.
A page. So let's say this is longer and we have too many on this one. I don't know if I can really be confident in saying that I filed, grinded and sanded. So we're gonna delete this one. We're gonna have to enable editing. Delete this. Maybe. It's better with a mouse. Okay, and now things are good. Make sure that your spacing's right. Make sure everything is punctuated the way it's supposed to be. Make sure it's spelled right. Luckily, Word catches some of it. If you want to copy this whole thing, post it in Grammarly and check that as well, do that because someone's going to check that. If it's obvious. Now, I will say, we do not look at each and every one of these. We don't. We don't read line for line, sentence for sentence, making sure. We briefly skim it, make sure that it's relatable, that you filled something out. Okay? If you do not have another job, if you've never worked before, has anyone not had a job? Perfect. I was gonna say, if not, babysitting, volunteer work, do something, an internship, something to put on your resume so that you can show what you've done. Does anyone have any questions over this? Okay, so that's a really neat tool that saves you so much time. We did that in less than 10 minutes and we're good to go. Save it, upload it, and you're fine. And then you can come back to it later on and keep adding and keep changing. Okay, so going back to our career coach. The interview skills. How many of you have been in an interview? How did it go?
Zero.
Yeah. Did you ever leave an interview and be like, oh my God, that was terrible? Okay, I have. I surely have. You leave and it's a skill. It really is. It's something that the more you do, the better you become at it. It's not something that we walk in the door and we're like, you know what, this is great, not a big deal. You practice, you work on it. You get in your car and be like, ugh, could I have answered that one different? And the interview starts before you even step in that door. So I know of a personal past employer who watched me drive up. Was my vehicle clean? Okay, I got out. How did I carry myself? Was I on my phone texting while I was walking the door? Okay, a little old lady walks out the door. Did I open it for her? Okay, the receptionist. Did I smile, say hello? How are you doing? They look at these things from the second you pull up. They really do. We do it in our office for sure. Because we want to know, how do you present yourself when we're not looking? Okay, you walk into an interview room. What's the first thing you do?
We go.
Okay, how do you greet them?
I guess. Eight.
Okay, so you typically reach your hand up, you do a handshake, look in the eye, firm handshake. If there's 3, 4 people, you greet each and every one. You make sure that they see you. You be bubbly, you talk. You don't just like, talk, be open. Because they are going to pick up on that. Now interview the questions. So it's not necessarily all about getting the questions right and making it sound perfect. We want to know, if I put you on the spot and ask you a question, are you going to sit there and say, well, let me think. Or I don't know. It happens more than you think. So that's what we're looking for is, can you come up with quick responses? Can you communicate? Can you talk to us and be a human being and just have those interactions? Or are you going to freeze on the spot? Those are the things that we really want to know. So, I'm gonna put you to the test. We're going to go through some interview questions. It's okay to get these wrong. It's okay not to sound just perfect. But let's go through and let's ask some and see what we're looking at. Okay, so I'm not picking on anyone, but I'm gonna start with you.
Me?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, why are you looking for a job?
So that's gain experience on the job I'm working on, and I'm looking forward to see what the company can offer me while I work here.
Okay. So that's definitely a good start. So you started that really strongly. You didn't hesitate for even a second.
Gonna be phrases.
Of course.
Think
And that all of the research that you did before you even got the interview can come into play here. Really looking at your company, because I saw on social media that you had this, or I saw on your website that you had this going, and I feel like I'd be a great fit. I feel like your values and your goals really align with mine. Be prepared when they say, oh, please elaborate. Be prepared to answer that next follow-up question of, well, what goal specifically? Can you give an example of how that would help? But absolutely, you want to know, what can I benefit from? What can I bring to the table? So you don't necessarily want to phrase it as, what can you do for me? Because yes, they're paying you, they're giving those benefits, things like that, and that is very important. But what can you attribute to the company? Because that's what they're gonna ask for too. It's gonna be a back and forth, but very good. You didn't hesitate for a second. All right, ma'am. How do you describe your ability to work as a team member?
I try my ability to work as a team member very good. I can communicate well. I can communicate my opinions and questions in a good way. I'm able to listen. I'm a listener. So if any of my team members have a question or don't understand something or just need to ask me something, I can listen and answer for me.
Perfect. Perfect response. I wouldn't change that at all. Great. Because again, you want to show, yeah, if you give me a team, I can handle that. We can work together. We can meet our deadlines. We can do this. Great. I'm a listener. I'm a communicator. You added those soft skills. They might put you to the test on that. So again, make sure you can back everything that you say. Okay. My favorite question. What are your weaknesses?
My weaknesses would be communication and
Okay. How do you follow up with that? Because how do you truly answer this question? Truly, I hate this question. Hate it with all my being. So you want to answer the question truthfully, but how do we improve it? How are we working on it? So mine is I'm a perfectionist. I can nitpick and be OCD with something so much that sometimes I get lost in that. What I personally do is I check myself, numerous times to make sure that I am looking at the big picture and not focusing on such a small task one at a time. How would you say that you are working on your communication skills? What are you doing to improve that? Now with that, answer the question again. What are your weaknesses?
my weaknesses would be communication. I try to fix it by speaking to people, building a bond.
Perfect. Yes, you're trying to fix it by communicating with people, putting yourself out there and stepping out of your comfort zone to really push yourself. Make sure that you include how you're working on it so that you can show that I'm aware, I'm human, I have those flaws, but I promise I'm gonna work on it and I'm gonna be okay with it. Okay? Now don't choose something that you really can't fix. I'm late to work and I don't know. It is what it is. Take it away. You don't have to do that, okay? You want to make sure that you choose something that you can actively fix and show that you are aware, but maybe possibly even like a strength as well that you can hide in it a little bit. Okay, let's say next one. So with the sweater. Okay, either one of you. Tell me about an accomplishment that you are most proud of. Okay, you got it. Go for it.
Some some of the scholarships I received, it shows that my hard work is paying off and I get to come to school, help and do something and study out something I love.
Perfect. I'll let you go and answer as well.
I was also gonna one accomplishment that I'm sorry. One accomplishment that I'm most proud of is graduating with high honors.
Absolutely.
And it it brings me. Sorry.
Yeah, but you more, but you
It gives me more motivation to work harder in school and to be the best for my education.
perfect. So even you just being in this room is an accomplishment because you are putting yourself forward. You've been accepted. You're going to class. You're doing the dang thing. You're here. So explain some of those to really make it that you're proud of yourself. And it can be something small.
Do you want to answer this question? Truth, like genuine, or do you want to stretch the truth a little bit? It's like for question one,
Okay.
why are you looking for a job? Like for money, the homeless, get paid.
It is the genuine, honest truth. However, would you go, I mean, other than an internship, let's just delete internships from our mind. Would you go work for a job that's, please let me do all this work and don't pay me? No. So it's implied and they know that you're working for money. They know that. So you don't want to be like, I'm looking to make 60,000 grand a year. Can you give me that? You don't want to do that because then that makes you come off as arrogant. So you want to, yes, be truthful, and you can get down to that nitty gritty of for money, disability, and things like that. But you don't want to seem arrogant and like you are using the company just to get paid. Because that's not, you don't really want a job that you come to work solely to get paid. So what's the enjoyment in that? But
So we look for sympathy from them a bit.
no, not sympathy, but you want to show, again, like you answered it correctly the very first time. You're like, I want to gain knowledge. I want to gain skills. And the answer that I wrote down for that one was I am actively exploring new career opportunities that allow me to further develop my skills and take on a more challenging responsibility. So you're saying, I want a new role. I want something different than what I'm doing now. I want to challenge myself. I need new responsibilities, which could mean, I want that to be a manager, I want to be a supervisor, so I can put that on my resume. But I didn't come out and say, I want to use your company to put on my resume so I can look for something better. You're wanting to gain those skills because again, you don't want to come to work solely for the money. You want to gain skills. You want to enjoy yourself. You want to be happy with what you're doing while you make that money. You want to do both. Okay, let's go a little bit more. Okay, so I'm gonna start with you. How do you handle a difficult situation?
Situation. It's like, what's the best reaction?
Okay, can you give me an example of that? Of a time in your life where you handled something challenging? That's okay. So again, I put you on the spot, but whenever you go for these interviews, look up some questions. We can do mock interviews in our office. I'm sure y'all do some too. Talk about some of these so that you're not on the spot. So I'm running out of time. I'm gonna go ahead and, can you answer that one as well?
Which one?
Tell me how you handled a difficult situation.
Well, I handle difficult situations always. I try to get out of my mind as I can. Really think about what the situation is happening. How can I solve this? And try to
Okay, you're on the right track. You're definitely there.
everybody say around.
Well, because I'm a nerd. Yeah, I was like, okay, so I'm gonna ask you, why should we hire you? Why should we hire you? Why should we hire you?
Let me see. I have good communication skills and I am able to care for people. I've been doing it for 6 years now. So I can work through difficult situations. You just have to, I just have to see where the difficulty is and what's the situation. And if I don't, I will ask for help when I need to, and I will be willing to be part of the team to make everybody's job a little bit easier.
Perfect. Yep, so you just want to explain a little bit about yourself. You kind of want to take that as like summarize. Again, you should hire me because I'm goal oriented. I work hard. I'm time manager. I'm gonna be there on time. I really feel like the goals and the values of the company really work with mine because X, Y, Z. You kind of want to use it as a summary. Okay, on the last thing, ask questions. So whenever someone says, do you have any questions for us? Sounds great. No, they want to know, again, did you do your research? What questions do you generally have? What is the work environment like here? Maybe don't ask for salary quite yet. That's a whole different conversation that we could have a whole presentation about. Typically, they're the ones that are going to offer salary ahead of time or at the end, and then you discuss from there. But make sure.
Operate and the employees.
Yes, I mean, you want to just ask about the culture and things like that and how, is there travel involved? How many hours a week am I gonna work? You want to know these things because it's going to impact you and your life and your ability. Okay, does anyone have any questions? Okay, so again, we're the advisors. We have several different locations. You can come by anytime. We can go through mock interviews with you. We can go through all of this. We can help you with your resume, go through study skills, things like that. We can help you with. Okay, then I have run out of time. Y'all been great. Thanks for answering and participating. Thank you all.
Just go ahead and scan the QR code, and then we're gonna do a drawing for a couple of door prizes.